Okay, it's February 27th at about 1:45. After working on this project for quite some time, since last September, it's finished and we're ready to see if this thing's going to run. Just pan around it real quick and you can see some of the details of the engine before we actually try to start the engine. Here's the fuel injector, which injects the fuel right into the back face of the intake valve. Port fuel injection. Quite a innovation for its day. That is the control, the screw which controls the stroke of the pump. You screw the screw in to increase the amount of travel on the plunger, which gives it more fuel, and you screw the adjuster out, it gives you less fuel. This is the igniter. This was made completely from reproduction parts. The igniter body was made from a wood pattern, cast and copied from a broken original that I was lucky enough to get with the engine. The head of the engine, the intake valve cage, which actually is underneath the rocker arm pivot support, was rebuilt. The exhaust rocker, or the exhaust cage, was taken from a parts engine I had, as this one was shattered in several pieces. The rocker arm's a reproduction. Here is the water pump. The whole water pump on this engine is a reproduction piece. It's copied off of the castings are made from original parts directly. All parts machined, the impeller, the pulley, the bracket, the bearings, and all that made from the castings. The oilers on this engine, I was fortunate enough for a collector who saw a request on the smokestack post that I needed oilers. Contacted me and I was able to work out an agreement with him. So it's an original set of 4 matched Penberthy oilers, which actually came off of a Goold, Shapley and Muir engine of this size. I was very fortunate with that. The Christmas tree they're sitting on is reproduced. I guess these engines were 2 styles. They had a Christmas tree with the oilers as we see here, or with the oiler mounted on the crank guard. This engine never had a crank guard as the base isn't drilled for it. So we went with this style. The piston was reworked, flame sprayed on the outside. The cylinder was bored and custom rings made for the job, oversized, 2 rings per groove. The governor, as we can see here, was completely rebuilt. This was pieces from the governor that came with this engine and pieces from the parts engine. It was a disaster. Every piece on it had to be rebushed and built up. It was in rough shape. Backing up a little bit with a little history on the engine. The engine was originally purchased by a collector down in Kentucky, Tennessee, excuse me. The building that the engine was in fell down on top of it and made a big mess of the engine. It broke the governor's side flywheel, bent the crankshaft an inch, ripped the cylinder off the base. Bad stuff. So pretty much that's what we got. You see the cooling tank, which is a reproduction. The water pump pumps the water through the water jacket, goes underneath the engine, through a valve which I installed here to control the flow of water up through the head, through the cylinder, up this pipe. You can see where it's going to go through the water overflow here and back into the tank. It's got water in it. We had a few leaks earlier today I had to take care of. Can't sit here and tell you it was perfect because leaked from a few spots, but it was just mostly just tightening unions and packing on the water pump, things of that sort. But anyways, that's an overview of what we got. Ignition is going to be by a battery and coil, low tension coil in the battery box. Only things I did ahead of time so far were check the water system for leaks. I checked the fuel system for leaks. I spun. Okay, it's about 5 minutes to 1. First thing we're going to do on the engine is to prime the fuel system, and we do this by working the outer push rod, which is a brass tube that works the fuel injector pump and pumps it into a space behind the intake valve head. And we do that until it actually drains out a drilled drain void, if you will. So you actuate the pump until it comes out, it's primed, and hopefully it'll start. Decrease the fuel a little. Maybe I got it running too rich. Okay, I think I found the problem. There's a spring I had on here to return the igniter, and it came off. So, just do a quick band-aid here. See if this will work. Let's try it. Give it more fuel. Which it has. All right. Come on. Okay, it did start. Got to make some adjustments on it.